Right now, okay? Yes, ask.
Ma'am, as the classes are being divided into the different means we are having in the mid, ma'am, can't we can get the different sections means what's this telegram groups, ma'am, because in one telegram group all the messages are getting messed up and it's hard to find,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes. I
Ma'am,
also, I was also thinking that, but this is one thing that I cannot do anything. You can do one thing. Your batch coordinator is Nilanjan Babarta sir, right? You can tell this problem to him. He may convey it to SKG sir, right? If it is possible, then SKG sir will do that. I was also thinking that as in the same group, all of us are, I mean, posting the messages for different sections is difficult for you. I realize that. But you should first communicate with your batch coordinator, Nilanjan Baborta sir. He will be communicating with SKG sir. Okay. So let me now share my
okay, ma'am.
screen. Yeah. Let me now share my screen and let me start my presentation. Okay. Okay. So I hope the screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Hmm, okay. Okay. So as I said, another thing, if I got disconnected, right? If please please put me a message. Anyone of you, please put me a WhatsApp message. Last day in third year class, it has happened. I have kept on talking for 20 minutes, but I was disconnected. I didn't notice that. Okay. So anyone of you, if you feel that I am disconnected, please send me a message. Okay. Okay. So let me. So as I told you, এখনো ঢুকছে as I told you that naive Bayes classifier is a probabilistic framework for solving classification problem, right? So this is an approach for modeling a probabilistic relationship between the attribute set and the class variable. Okay, so by attribute set, by we mean the feature, and by class variable we mean the level, right? It actually finds out the probabilistic relationship between the feature and the level, right? So that's how it works. Now, I hope you remember about probability basics, right? So there is a concept of joint probability. The joint probability that random variables A and C will take values A and C respectively. So that is written like this: probability of A is equal to A, comma C is equal to C. Right. So this is called joint probability, where two random variables A and C will take values small a and small c respectively. Now there is another concept which is known as conditional probability, right? So in ninth phase we will mostly follow this conditional probability concept, right? So in conditional probability, how it is defined: probability A is equal to A takes a value A given. So this vertical bar stands for given C takes a value C. Conditional probability that A will take a value A, given that C has taken the value C, can be defined like this. So probability C given A can be defined as probability of the joint probability of AC divided by probability of A, and probability of A given C is defined as joint probability of A and C given probability of C, right? So these are the basic formula of probability. And I suppose you all remember the Bayes theorem, right? So when you have learned Bayes theorem, you thought why we are actually learning this. But now you can see this Bayes theorem is basically is applicable in machine learning in naive Bayes classifier, right? So now you could find I mean what I should say use of the Bayes theorems that you have learned in your statistic classes, right? So probability of C given A according to Bayes theorem is probability of A given C into probability of C divided by probability of A, right? Now this probability of C is known as prior probability, and probability of C given A, which we are actually finding out by the Bayes theorem, is known as posterior probability. Okay.
Ma'am,
So
what do you mean by prior probability?
yes, let us take an example, right? So let us take an example so that you could understand what is prior probability and what is posterior probability, right? So let us take this example. Okay, let us take this example. Suppose this is a problem. A doctor knows that meningitis causes stiff neck 50% of the time, right? So what does that mean? So a doctor knows meningitis causes stiff neck, right? So that is basically stiff neck, right, given meningitis, isn't it? So stiffness given meningitis is 50% of the case. So we could say the probability of it is basically 0.5, right? Now, what is the prior probability? So, prior probability is like that. Prior probability of any patient having meningitis is 1 by 50,000. Let me give another example, right? So, we all know that, there is a, it has been said that in India, it has been estimated and said that in India, 1% people or 2% people will get affected in COVID, right? So if it is said like that, that will be your prior probability, because that's only an estimation, right? So a prior estimation, but that may change, right? So like that, that's basically a prior probability. So prior probability, like in this example, prior probability of any patient having meningitis is 1 by 50,000, right? And prior probability of having of any patient having stiff neck is so prior probability of having any patient meningitis means PM basically, right? Prior probability of M, if M stands for meningitis, right? And then prior probability of any patient having stiff neck is a PS, right? So that is given by 1 by 20, right? So if a patient has stiff neck, right, what is the probability of he or she is having meningitis? So what we are finding out? We are finding out what is the probability of meningitis given the patient has a stiff neck, right? So using Bayes theorem, we can do it like that. The probability of stiff neck given meningitis into prior probability of a patient having meningitis divided by prior probability of a patient having stiff neck, right? So that can be calculated like this, right? So that's how we use we use Bayes theorem to calculate. So I hope the prior probability is now clear to you, right? So that's how using Bayes theorem we calculate the conditional probability, right? Now this naive Bayes classifier, it used the probability, right? It uses the Bayes theorem, right? And it uses another assumption. That assumption is features are independent of each other, right? So suppose let us take an example. Suppose we have learned several data set, right? So data set has a data set can have various feature, right? Like say A1 A2 AN, right? And that data A1 A2 AN, or you could say X1 X2 XN. Like we have found many data set, like say where we have a data set like finding out whether a person is fraud or not. So taxable income, you can consider it as A1. You can consider the marital status as A2, and so on, right? So we know that while we are considering a classification problem, we are having a training data which has got multiple attributes like A1, A2, AN, or features, right? So attribute and features are synonymous, right? And as well as they have a class, right? as we use level data for the as a training data in case of any classifier, so that is having a class, right? Now, um, relationship between input feature and class are expressed as probabilities. So in case of naive Bayes, the relationship between, so ultimately when we are finding out a hypothesis, that is or a model, so actually whether we are using k nearest neighbor, whether we are using decision tree, or whether even we are using a regression, right? We are finding out a function, right? So what function does, that function or hypothesis or model that actually find out the relationship between the features and this output variable, which is the class, right? So that's how the models are created, right? Now in case of naive Bayes classifier, same thing, the hypothesis or the model is actually find out the relationship between the input feature and class, but that is expressed as probabilities, right? The level for sample class is so this will we will understand gradually. So level for sample class is highest probability of given input. So this will we will understand when we will discuss the example, right? Now one thing, now why this naive Bayes classifier is called naive? So the naive, it is called because it follows an assumption. That assumption is that each of this feature a1 a2 n, these are independent of each other, right? But this is a kind of naive assumption because features can always have a correlation with each other, right? Like let me give you an example. Suppose in your feature there is a feature called price of a product, right? And there is a feature called amount of sales paid, sales tax paid, right? Now this amount of sales tax paid is basically contributed linearly, it will contribute linearly in finding out price of a product. তুমি যখন একটা প্রোডাক্টের প্রাইস বের করছো তখন নিশ্চয়ই the sales price টা is included in that, right? That means if in a data set there is a feature called price of a product and there is a feature called amount of sales paid, so they must have a coordination with each other. They are not independent to each other, right? So they may be having a linear combination of each other, right? So this is this assumption that all the feature will be independent, that is basically a naive assumption, right? Although let me tell you one thing, if we in a data set we are having such features which are having some correlation with each other, we can consider those features as redundant feature, and there are various way by which we can remove this redundant feature, right? And we could reduce the size of our feature set, right? So that we can do in machine learning, right? So that is known as feature reduction. But anyway, as naive Bayes is making this assumption that okay, features are independent from each other, right? So as it is a naive assumption, so the name is called naive Bayes classifier. So Bayes because it uses Bayes theorem, and naive because this assumption that features are input features are independent to each other. Definitely they have a relationship with the output or the level, but they are independent. Input features are independent to each other. So I hope this much is clear to all of you, right? So that's how naive Bayes classifier works. Now let us consider each attribute and class level as random variables. So as we are considering a probabilistic framework, you all know in probabilistic framework we consider these attribute as random variables. So given a record with attribute x1 x2 xt, that means it's basically a record of your data set, right? So each record of your data set can be considered as a collection of features. Like I said, that x1 can be your taxable income, x2 can be your marital status, and so on, right? So a given record with attribute x1 x2 xt, goal is to predict the class y. Now y can be whether a person is fraud or not. So y can be yes, y can be no, right? Now specifically we want to find out the value of y that maximizes. Now when we use a probabilistic framework in naive based classifier, right? So in each of the classification problem we have realized a machine learning problem is basically an optimization problem. So either when we are doing some classification or we are doing some regression, we are either maximizing some criteria or we are minimizing some criteria, right? Like in case of linear regression we have minimized the error, right? But in case of this naive based classifier specifically, when we are classifying, we want to find out the value of y that maximizes probability of y given x1 x2 up to xt, right? So you what you actually I mean, if you conceive this classification problem as a probabilistic problem, so what you want to predict, you want to predict the class, right? You want to predict the class of a test data which is y, given this is the attribute of your test data point, right? So if x1 x2 xd are basically attribute of your test data point, so you want to find out the class for it. So that can be in probabilistic framework or in the conditional probabilistic framework, you can write it like this now, that probability of y given x1 x2 xd, right? So now can we estimate this directly from data? So definitely we can do that using naive Bayes theorem, right? Okay. Now approach is that, so if you extend now Bayes theorem, so original Bayes theorem you remember, right? So probability of y given x. So instead of x, we are now replacing those x in case of this naive Bayes classifier with x1, x2, xn, where this x1, x2, xn represents the attributes or the features, right? And we are trying to find out the y, which is the class, right? So that if we follow the Bayes theorem, now this can be written like this. So probability of y given I mean x was in the Bayes theorem is what, the formula was probability of x given y into py by px. Now you are replacing this x by x1 x2 xn, right? So instead of x, just put x1 x2 up to xt. Instead of x, you just replace it by x1 x2 xt. Am I clear? So if
Ma'am,
I'm
can you
not
please repeat it again?
okay, so I hope you remember this formula, right? That I have shown you. This is the
Yes, ma'am.
formula, right? So in Bayes theorem, what you are doing, right? You are finding a probability of C given A, right? Now in naive Bayes, this C is basically replaced by your class Y, which you want to predict, given this A is replaced by the attributes, right? So you want to predict the class with respect to or given the value of different attributes, right? Or features, right? So this A is replaced by x1, x2, xn. So the number of features you are having. Is it clear now? So if here C is replaced by Y and A is replaced by this, so here also A would be replaced by x1, x2, xn. Here also A would be replaced by x1, x2, xn, and this C would be replaced by Y, right? So if you replace this, you could get, just replace this. You would be getting this formula, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right, right. So that's how Bayes theorem is extended in naive Bayes classifier to find out a class for a test data which is derived from the Bayes theorem, right? Okay, so now let us understand how to so this up to this it is clear to you, right? Now see what naive Bayes classifier have considered. Naive Bayes classifier has considered a naive assumption. What is that? This x1, x2, xt up to xt, these features are basically independent to each other, right? So if they are independent to each other, then uh, this can be written as probability of x1 x2 up to xd given y can be written as, you all know, if in probabilistic framework, if two variables, random variables, are independent to each other, so you can write I mean like this, right? So probability of x1 given yj. So if it is yj or say y, right? So here it is written as yj, right? So if it is yj or if it is y, so if you can distribute this, right? So you can write probability of x1 given y or yj, probability of x2 given yj, probability of xd given yj, right? So this part you are converting, you can convert it to this way. Why? Because naive Bayes classifier had assumed that the features are independent to each other. If features are not independent, you cannot I mean cannot write this in this way, right? Now once this has been I mean that once this has been replaced in the original formula, now uh, we can estimate this probability of xi yj for all xi yj combination of the training data, right? So in our training data, there are xi's, so there are attributes. And why this yj is written? Because in training data, you are having different records, right? So each record or each row is having a different class, right? So you can represent each record of the training data in this way, right? So each record is having, say, if having it is having three attributes, you can write it like this. X1, say the class is yes. For the say for the first record, the class is yes, right? So you can write x1, say taxable income given yes. Then say you can write probability of um, um say marital status given yes, right? Now the next record can have the class as no, so you can write taxable income given no, probability of marital status given no, and so on. So in this way you can represent each record of your training data using this Bayes theorem, right? And using the naive assumption over the Bayes theorem, right? Now the point is classified to now in this way, if you create a model, now point is that you have to classify yj if uh, pyj product of pxi is maximal, right? Now just remember this. Let us now move into this example, right? So I hope with this example we will then back to again to the formula. You would understand it very clearly, right? Now see this example. So this is a very standard example which is given in all the machine learning books, right? We have followed this example for our decision tree classifier as well, right? Let us follow it for naive Bayes classifier as well. Now see, now each record here, right? So it is having 14 records. So this is the training data, right? So our training data is having 14 records, fine. And each record is having four different features, right? Outlook, temperature, humidity, wind. And the output or level is play tennis, which is having two values, either yes or no, right? Now what is the assumption of our naive Bayes? This outlook, temperature, humidity, wind, these four features, they are independent to each other, fine. This is the first naive assumption of our naive Bayes. Now let us see from this how would we calculate the probabilities, right? Basically what naive Bayes does, it creates some lookup tables of probabilities from this training data, right? Now how it calculates the lookup tables, right? So here you are having two yj's. So one yj represent no, and one yj represent yes, right? Okay. So yes and no, right? So two classes are there. Now, how it calculates the lookup table? See, for each attribute, say outlook, right? So naive create lookup tables corresponding to each of the attribute independently. Why? Because the naive consideration is that the attributes are independent to each other, right? So that's how it calculates the probabilities of each attributes in a separate table. So let us consider the first attribute, which is outlook. Fine. So it has got three attribute values. What are those? Overcast, sunny, and rain. Right. So this lookup table, what it will consider, what the things it will keep in it. It will keep the attribute name. Fine. Then it will keep the two different classes, right? Yes and no, right? So these will be the header values or heading of the table, right? Play yes or play no. And then for each of the attribute values, it will calculate the probability of having the class yes and having the class no, right? How to do that? Now we know, if you count it, and from the previous day, you know here, that number of yes is 9 and number of no is 5, right? Total 14 records are there. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 9, I mean, 9 yes are there, right? So definitely, if I want to calculate for sunny output value of outlook, in how many cases we are getting this yes, right? So that can be calculated, that can be found out from this table, right? So we are getting that if the outlook is sunny in, there are 5 cases. So among this, 1 2 3 4 5, among this, in 2 cases we are getting yes, right? In other 3 cases we are getting no, right? So the probability can be written like that, that outlook sunny, so play yes 2 by 9, play no 3 by 9, right? Like that we can calculate it for overcast, and we can calculate it for rain, right? So that will conclude our lookup table for outlook. In the similar way, we can find out, or naive base can find out from the training data, the lookup table for temperature, humidity, and wind. So these wind, right? So these are four features. So for different four of these features, it can find out the lookup table like this, right? Now, and what other things it can find out? It can find out probability of play yes, right? So probability of play is equal to yes. So what is the probability of play is equal to yes according to the data set? So the data set is having 14 data, right, total, among which 9 is yes. So definitely the probability of play is equal to yes will be 9 by 14, and probability of play is equal to no will be 5 by 14, right? So this you can consider as prior probability, isn't it? So these are the prior probabilities. So probability of play yes is 9 by 14, and probability of play no is 5 by 14. So this you can first calculate, or naive base is first calculated, and then it has formed the different lookup tables for those attributes, for all the attributes. As the attributes are independent, so lookup tables will be different from different attributes. Now, how it is finding out the class for a unknown data set? So for with training data, this much the naive Bayes classifier actually does, right? So with training data, this much the naive Bayes classifier can done. It can create the lookup tables, and it can create it can calculate the prior probabilities, right? So that much is done with the training data. Fine. Now with the test data, how it resolved? Now suppose this is a test instance, right? So test instance, or in the test data, what would be present? So in the test data, definitely different attribute, different feature values will be present. So suppose this is the test data X dash, where the feature value for outlook is sunny, right? The feature value for temperature is cool, and the feature value for humidity is high, and feature value for wind is strong. That means you have got a test data like this: sunny. You have got a test data like this: sunny, cool, high, and strong, right? So sunny, cool, high, strong. Suppose this is your test data and you don't know the level, right? So how now this knife based classifier will find out that, right? What it will do, it will look up the tables that is it has achieved in the learning phase, right? So in the lookup tables, what it has calculated, it has calculated, let us see, the probability of outlook is equal to sunny given play is equal to yes. Right? Why? Because what this particular self, I mean, indicates, it indicates the outlook is equal to sunny, and this is indicates play is equal to yes. So what this value actually indicates, it indicates probability of outlook is equal to sunny given play is equal to yes. So that probability it has already calculated has as 2 by 9. Accordingly, probability of temperature is equal to cool, given play is equal to yes is equal to 3 by 9. So this lookup table values actually represent this conditional probability values, right? So these are actually formulated in the training phase. Now at the test phase you are having this test data, right? Now what you need to find out, you need to find out the level for this test data, the class level for this test data X dash. That means you want to find out whether the class level for this test data is yes given the attributes are the given X dash, and you have to and you also want to find out what is the probability of the this test data having the class no, right? So how naive based classifier now works, it will find out probability in for the both classes, right? For the test data it will calculate the probability for both the classes, probability of yes given X dash, that is the test data attributes, and a probability of no given test data attributes. And how it will indicate that what would be the actual class for X dash. So among these probability values, whichever will be maximum, that will be the class for X dash. That's how we are saying it's a maximization problem. So it's doing an optimization which is maximization. So for doing that maximization, it needs to find out the probability of yes given S dash, and it needs to find out probability of no given S dash, both for the test data X dash, right? And then among these two, whichever is the maximum, it will be predicting the class for that for the class for X dash with that class only, right? Now how it will find out, so probability of yes given X dash, right? Now in X dash these attributes are there, right? So if you follow now this base the naive Bayes theorem, how would you write that? So each attribute are independent to each other, so you should write probability of sunny given yes, right? Probability of cool given yes, right? Probability of high given yes, probability of strong given yes. So the attributes values are sunny, right? So this is your x1, right? This is your x2, fine. This is your x3, and this class which is yes, this is your y actually, isn't it? So if you follow the formula, what was the formula? So formula was x1 given y or yj you could say. Then x probability of x1 given y. So look at this formula now. So probability of x1 given yj, right? X2 given yj, right? Now here your yj is basically in first case is yes, right? And this x1, x2 up to xd, these are basically the attributes of your test data, right? So that's how following this formula you could write in this way that probability of sunny given yes, probability of then the next feature x2 cool given yes. Acha, am I is it clear? Are you getting my are you getting what am I explaining? Anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So probability of cool given yes, probability of then high given yes, probability of strong given yes, right? Into the prior probability, that is probability of play is equal to yes, right? This is basically this one. This is basically your this py, right? This is basically your py. Fine. Now this py you are multiplying, so that is basically probability of play is equal to yes. Now when you calculate these values, now just put the values from this lookup table and calculate the probability. So it will come as 0.0053. So you know that probability values lies between 0 and 1. So in this particular case, it will come as 0.0053. Fine. Similarly, you have to calculate it for no given x dash as well. So in case of no, now your yj will be no, right? So sunny given no, cool given no, high given no, strong given no. So for all the attributes into prior probability of given that is py is now no, right? So prior probability of play is equal to no, right? So if you multiply those values, you'll be getting this. Now among for this particular values, definitely this value is the maximum value, right? So given the fact probability of yes given x dash is less than probability of no given x dash, we level x dash to be no. Fine. So that's how the class for the test data is being predicted. So in the training phase, a naive base, what it does, it calculates the prior probabilities, right? And it creates the lookup table for each of the attributes. Now in the test phase, it actually calculates this this probabilistic formula of naive base, and it finds out the probability value for each of yes and no, both for both the classes. Now whichever is getting maximum probability, it actually label the test data according to that class, right? So that's how here it is said. Now I suppose it is clear to you. Now the new point is classified to yj if pyj this is basically product symbol, right? Pyj into product of pxiyj is maximum. So here what we are actually calculating, so this with this line and this line we are actually calculating this p probability of yj and product of xiyj. So this is basically this is basically product of xiyj, right? So this is we are actually calculating. So among these whichever will be maximal, we will predict the class in same way. So I hope now this naive based classifier is clear to all of you, right? And what are the pros and cons of naive based? So naive based are robust to isolated noise point. So it's not susceptible to noise. It can handle missing values by ignoring the instances during probabilistic estimate calculation, right? Naive Bayes has got this advantage. It can if your data set is having some missing values, it can ignore that while it is calculating the probability estimate calculation for the features, right? uh, Robust to irrelevant attributes, right? So it's robust to irrelevant attributes. but independence assumption may not hold for some attribute. As I said, that it may happen. So the naive assumption is that all the attributes will be independent to each other. So if the correlated attributes are present, then it can degrade the performance of naive Bayes classifier. So if you are using naive Bayes classifier, you must remove the redundant attribute first using some feature reduction techniques. So there are various ways to find out the important features. So you should reduce your feature by removing the redundant features, and then you should apply the naive Bayes classifier, right? So this is all about naive Bayes classifier. I hope I have made it clear to all of you. I'll be posting this PPT in your group for your further reference, right? And if you have so let me see if you have any query now. Yes, I'll share this PPT in the Telegram group, right? And you are all supposed to give the attendance in the chat. In the link I have posted. I hope it's clear to you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me right now. I hope this is clear to you. And from next day onwards, you will be started. You start to implement this classifier. So when you will implement those classifier, theory won't be explained then. You just need you just be said that how to use Python classes to implement them. But if you know the theory, you could as you know the theory behind it, and if you go through these theories, then it will become more I should say clear to you that how these classifiers are working, right? So I hope I have made it clear to you. So if you have so it's almost 155. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me right now. If you have any query, you can ask me. Feel free to ask any question. I want to interact with my student. I want my student to ask question. So you can take this feedback from your senior as well, that I always like the student should ask questions, right? So if you have any query, feel free to ask in the class, right? And if not, then I would I would stop the meeting here. Let us